this piece is at its core about time and the way that audience members and listeners and performers deal with time in music.
It's really one of the landmarks of 20th century chamber music repertoire, and we've had the good fortune of having some other people here in Albuquerque, James Shields clarinet, Connor Hannick, and Dana Winograd, who are also willing to perform this piece. It's quite a piece, actually. It's about an hour long, and it requires everything you've got. It requires your entire emotional state. It requires technique on your instrument, and it requires just concentration because it is such a long piece and such an incredibly deep, profound piece.
How do I feel after playing this piece? For a number of reasons, I feel sort of devastated. Not in necessarily a negative way, just that like my brain has been cleared of all excess baggage and it feels very clean slate in a way that's a little shocking. Number one, it takes a lot of energy to play the piece. It's exhausting. It takes a lot of mental concentration. It's physically exhausting. And the emotional impact is pretty severe at times. I always end up feeling this odd combination of satisfaction and devastation, if that can make any sense.
But the eclipse of the sun, I can't tell you what an experience that was. You know, it's an illusion, time as an illusion. There is the face of the sun, we can't look at it because of its brightness. But when the shadow of the moon begins to encroach upon it, gradually the world grows dark. And you could see evening coming on, and the most wonderful things happened. You know, the waves of the river began to darken, and you could see distances between them, and a strange overcoming of the light. And on the bank itself, on the beach, you see rivulets of shadow passing by. In the indigenous mind, time and light then are profoundly related. When darkness comes at 4 p.m., there is something wrong. Something is terribly wrong. We can no longer trust our experience. And so we have to adjust ourselves to something new and dramatic and profound.
And where is that experience now? It's gone, it's extinct, it's defunct. It will never come back. It can never recur. The past cannot be experienced in the present. It's only a concept. It's only reflective thought as memory, and we know how reliable memory is. So the past doesn't exist except as a thought. And let's stick to our actual experience here. Can you experience again what happened this morning? Even the beginning of this sentence is as extinct and defunct as Julius Caesar and the Triceratops. It's gone forever. Our experience happens and disappears. So the past is only conceptual. Just to use the title of this series, it's only notional. It exists only in our thought.
In my view, and I think the view of many physicists, time is a way of measuring. It's in itself not fundamental. What's fundamental is the flow of events.
When we talk about Zeno, we're going quite a bit back in time. We're going quite a bit far into history. So circa, we don't know even the dates exactly, precisely for him, but he lives 490 to about 430 BC. The important thing to know about Zeno is he's the first person, in the Western tradition at least, to really argue for something that we've already talked a little bit about. That is the idea that time is an illusion, that time does not exist.
I think we all know deep down that time is very different from space.
Jung's wishes, one biggest wish was to be able to relativize time. So he wouldn't have to worry about the fact that what we're talking about, synchronicity, would be impossible to understand.
One way to think about this problem would be to say that the notion of time travel had to become conceivable before it could become a topic for literature, that it had to be imagined, and certainly without the theory of relativity, it's unclear that we'd have much of 20th century science fiction about time travel.
think about the event today at the Santa Fe Complex? I thought it was excellent. It was also typical of the complex in that it was a variety of people and approaches to a topic. So I enjoyed the almost mayhem, the sense of fertile intermixing of a wide variety of ideas, none of them in conflict, but all of them coming together to create this kind of emergent awareness that's actually what people do here.
The question you asked about the different views of time was very intriguing. I thought the approach from internally, in terms of talking of time, relative to an external perception of time was fascinating. I thought the difference between physical scientists and people who would take a more psychological view of what time is and how we live in time was just fascinating.